Hi there, welcome to the latest episode of my 10-minute moan. The topic of this 10-minute moan is quite a weird one. We've got a non-SNP MP, one who was actually kicked out the SNP, now wanting Police Scotland to assure him that there'll be no further public things happening with Branchform over the next 5 weeks of the election campaign, which I just find incredible. I'll give my own opinion on it once I've read out this article, which is just a bit mental. So the article, it's been covered by a few papers, but the first one that I picked up on when I Googled it was Express. So we're using that. Story by Matt Jackson. Headline, Nicola Sturgeon police investigation could change the narrative of election, MP warns. A Scottish MP has warned prosecutors could detonate a political hand grenade that would change the narrative of the election after they said Nicola Sturgeon remained under investigation. Nationalist MP Angus MacNeil has urged the Crown Office to provide clarity on the investigation into former First Minister and whether they will hold off until after the election on bringing charges over the probe into the SNP finance. MacNeil, the Western Isle MP, said his action over Operation Branchform had huge potential to change the narrative of this campaign. MacNeil, who was expelled from the SNP last year, says he is concerned for his former colleagues, fearing their campaigns could get blown off course if any more changes or indeed any prosecutions are brought during the election period. He claimed that by writing to the Crown Office he was doing his former colleagues a favour, as they could be seen as attempting to influence prosecutors, the Telegraph says. So Telegraph obviously led with it first. So I'm guessing what he's saying here is he's doing them a favour, because if an SNP MP was to write to the prosecutor asking for this sort of window of do nothing please, then it could be seen that they're attempting to influence the prosecutors. So he'll do it for them. The MP has spoken out after Police Scotland announced a report had been handed to the Crown Office in relation to Sturgeon's husband, Peter Morrell. Morrell, who was the SNP Chief Executive, has been charged in connection with embezzling funds from the party. The Crown Office told the Telegraph the investigations into Sturgeon and Colin Beattie, the party's former treasurer, are ongoing. It said any decisions on what happens next are not influenced by political events. This suggests prosecutors would not postpone any decisions until after the election. It comes at a terrible time for the SNP, with polls predicting the party would lose to a resurgent Scottish Labour. MacNeil was one of the party's longest serving MPs until he was expelled following a row with the Chief Whip. He will be standing against the SNP as an independent candidate. In a letter to the Crown Office, he said, "I'm writing to seek clarity because of the potential political hand grenade of more possible charges resulting from this investigation. It has the huge potential to change the narrative of this campaign. Will the Crown Office hold off until after July 4 as a result? I am quite concerned for SNP friends and on the mainland. Because I am no longer an SNP MP, I can solicit the information that they perhaps can't ask for. I'm doing a favour for those campaigns that could get blown off course if any more changes or indeed any prosecutions are brought during the election period." Police Scotland's Branchform operation has been examining how the SNP handled more than £600,000 in donations towards a second independence referendum in 2017. Supporters made complaints when Companies House published accounts in 2020 appeared to show the SNP had around 97,000 in the bank, while the referendum never actually took place. Police raided Sturgeon and Morrell's home on April 5th last year, searching it for 2 days and erecting a large evidence tent. They also confiscated a large motorhome from outside the Fife home of Morrell's mother. Morrell was arrested in the raid, with Beattie arrested the following month and Sturgeon in June. All three were released without charge pending further investigations, with Sturgeon denying any wrongdoing. Morrell, who married Sturgeon in 2010, was arrested for a second time in April before he was charged, while police confirmed both Sturgeon and Beattie remain under investigation. According to the Telegraph, the Crown Office referred to a statement that said, "Connected investigations of two other individuals, a man aged 72 and a 53-year-old woman, remain ongoing. Decisions on how to proceed are taken by prosecutors acting independently and are based upon evidence available, legal principles and the merits of each case. They are not influenced by political events." While Police Scotland said investigations continue and were unable to comment further. The SNP also told the publication it would be inappropriate to comment. Right, so what we've got here is an ex-SNP guy that was kicked out of the SNP seems to be wanting the prosecution service and in turn Police Scotland not to arrest anybody for the next 5 weeks because it could maybe help influence, and certainly he suggests it would alter a campaign to an election. Who do you think you are? Right? Now, the prosecutors are now stuck in a sort of no-win situation here. Because if they don't do anything over the next 5 weeks, some people will think, oh, well, they're only not doing anything because of the election. So if they do anything, they could really affect the election. Let's be honest with you, particularly if one out of the two who are currently still being investigated was to be arrested and charged, or even arrested again, that could, let's be honest, have a big influence on the campaign. However, if either of the two people who are still being investigated were to be arrested at a future date after the election, then that's unfair on the Scottish electorate. Because if it's something that they would take into consideration, then they should be allowed to take it into consideration. And I don't know where the prosecution service are with the two, or the police rather, with the two people that they're still investigating. I don't know how close they are to either binning the case or rearresting them and charging them. Nobody's been suggesting any sort of timescale for that, although it's ongoing. That's it. That's the only suggestion we've had. So what people want to do here is influence the police. This is a police force and a prosecution service that's already under the spotlight because of its cosy relationship with the Scottish Government, who are obviously the SNP at the moment. So people just actually try to suggest that they should pause while the election's going on. It's completely mental. And I just genuinely cannot believe that an ex-SNP MP has written this letter. And he's actually admitted he's doing it on behalf of his SNP colleagues, ex-colleagues. Because they couldn't do it, because they're part of SNP and it's an SNP leader, ex-leader, and ex-treasurer that are still under investigation, and their ex-chairman is, their CEO, is arrested awaiting trial. Potential trial. I mean, who do these people think they are? What goes through your head to think, I'm going to... Now, one, he's wrote the letter. If that's no bad enough, he's went public with a letter and told everybody there's a letter I wrote. You're a crackpot, mate. I'm surprised the SNP flung you out because you signed like type A SNP material, to be perfectly honest with you. But, do you know, I wasn't bothered about it. I genuinely wasn't bothered about the timescale of it. I thought, what happened will happen with this. But see, because of the audacity of this crackpot, who's acting on behalf of the crackpot SNP MPs, I hope this week somebody gets a nick. And if Sturgeon is to get rearrested and charged, I hope it's next week. Because that's what you deserve. The pure audacity of you. Writing to the prosecuting service asking them to stop doing anything. Well, an election goes on. Who do you think you are? And I don't care. You could be the best MP up there in the Highlands and Islands, wherever it is you're an MP, right? I hope you got a horse right out of Westminster for your antics. Because nobody should vote for you. because you're a crank as well. I genuinely don't know why the SNP get rid of you, because you could have been a party leader with the amount of crankiness I've just read in that letter alone. Absolute bonkers, so there. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, give me a thumbs up. If you've not already subscribed, please consider doing so. But most importantly of all, see, unless you're this crackpot, anybody in the SNP or anybody that the Branchform investigation is still investigating or already charged, see everybody else. Have a great day. Cheery bye now.